Welcome back, YouTube. So, for any of you guys who are new to the stream, I do these recordings simply for anyone who's... Whoa! Hey, what's up? Oh, we just got our power gen installed. Excellent. That's what that noise is. That noise is the sound of power. I do these YouTube recordings just for anyone who misses my streams so that they would have, you know, a way to watch it in a bit more of a convenient way. And you guys are stuck. But the door is open. So, you know what, just ignore everything, demolish the walls, have a giant open area in the prison with no guards in it whatsoever. That totally isn't going to backfire at all. Yeah, the great thing about the prisoners is they're actually smart enough to be dumb. That they won't actually go and do something dangerous and try to break into this open area of the prison and do, you know, evil things. Lego, I'm gonna help him after this stream because he wants to get into Sonic Generation speedrunning. I'm more than happy to help him. I wanted to do my last stream before Zeldathon. Status light? That's a new thing. There's a lot of... If you're familiar with Redstone circuitry, they kind of have a lot of that stuff going on here. They've got circuits and logics and servos, and you can do a lot of cool things with it. I'm not that big into it. Like, it's a lot more complex because it's sort of like wiring stuff. And I'm not an electrical engineer. It's actually the second career I would have gone into if I didn't go into network admin. But because I don't know anything in the field, because I didn't study into it, I don't really know what they do with all of that stuff. Like, I can understand basic stuff. If I need to make an AND gate in Minecraft, I can do that. You know, I might have to make up a wiki picture, but, like, I can understand it, roughly. But this is, like, a bit more complex. There's a bit more logic to this stuff. I don't know, it's still cool, because you can actually make the doors go to a terminal where your guard sits in front of it and actually monitors people going in and out, which is a lot smarter than just having it so only guards can open them and close them. Plus, those armored doors are a bit more sturdy as well, so it makes it so people don't just break through and run out of your prison. But at the moment, everybody who has the big guns sits out here, so I'm not that worried. Though I am concerned as to why this random wall is here. Let's get rid of that. Just get that out of here. Alright, cool. And now we're missing a chunk of sidewalk. Is this concrete or gravel or something? Now, this is gonna bug me. Road? No. Paving stone. You know, I'm paying more attention to this than my prisoners. That's hopefully a good sign. Gravel? I don't know. Does it say? It doesn't mouse over to say what it is. That's gonna annoy me. Oh, well, good luck, Schnott. I hope you have a great time playing League with friends. I'm not a man for MOBAs, but it's definitely a game that, you know, if you can have a millions of dollars tournament for, there's something amazing to it. And we're gonna clone ourselves and get them expanded out here. Sonic IMK. Welcome to the channel. We're just speaking of Sonic, actually speedrunning Sonic Generations. Oh. Why are you yellow? I don't know. I hope you're not a coward. But other than that, Twitch allows you to have colors, and it might have not remembered the color that you last had. It might be confused. And we're gonna get... Uh-oh. Something's going on up here. Okay, so we've got a fight going on. Looks like there's some chaos. Okay, go your usual blue. Okay, Sonic. Something's happening. Okay, so they're going to beat up somebody. It looks like they're going to go and beat up the guards, but I'm trying to see if... they're, like, focusing on one guy and trying to, kill him. If it's, like, an ex-cop or... Oh! Somebody did die. What happened? Oh! He's an ex-cop. Oh, they got him. Oh, I didn't know it because they don't say anything. Like, sometimes they're hidden. This guy is an ex-cop and a snitch. Oh, he was dead the moment he walked in. Oh. That's gonna stink. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna take a penalty for that. They're gonna dock my pay. And any prisoner that did that is going to technically go into the higher class, the super criminals, so to speak. Ugh, that stinks. Okay. Well, that just means that we need to start making a new wing. We're going to have to make our own little separate area for our toughest, roughest criminals. That way they are sort of separate from everyone else. And they, you know, don't go and randomly kill people. Because that's really bad, if you didn't know. Randomly killing people, usually not the thing you want in your prison. We also need to make sure that this area actually gets built out correctly, and I think what just happened might have scared a lot of my workers away. What are my workers up to now? You are hauling wires, moving bags. Is somebody gonna get the... Guys, this guy's been here for like 3 hours now. Can somebody get him out of here? I'm sorry, Aston, but can somebody... Is somebody gonna... Ugh. You can't get any help nowadays. This guy's just sort of been sitting here. Just sitting here under a table. Anyway, ignoring that completely, we're gonna move back over here to where the construction's happening and just ignore Mr. Aston over here. Looks like there's a bit of contraband coming in as well. That's not good. As for the controller stuff, I used to use an Afterglow controller, Lego, so I'm definitely more than willing to help you out after this. We'll do a Skype call or something. Now, we've got a bunch of people who are involved in that fight. We can go into our intelligence, into our informants. Oh, you were a confidential informant already? You jerk. Anyway, when people get suppressed enough, they have the chance to become confidential informants themselves. The more CIs, or essentially snitches, you get, the more information you can gather in the prison. Of course, you don't just gather information from the prisoners, and the prisoners don't gather information, or don't just have inherent knowledge of the prison. They have to sort of communicate with prisoners, go around, talk to one another, learn about what's going on in the prison, and then, in the late of night, you pull the prisoners into the security office, and they, you know, they tell you one-on-one, hey, you know, that guy has got a, you know, had a cake with a crowbar in it, you know. And you sort of get to learn where everything's at. You can also use this view to view things like your dangers, like the demand of narcotics or luxuries, where certain items can come from. Like, there's a lot of things that can come from having a workshop. The food supply in is actually like a huge way for things to get in. And you can also take a look at the last 24 hours and the last week of where things have been coming in from. So it's a really nice system. This is the Alpha 28. I think they'll eventually get to a beta. But overall, the game has been really solid as a top-down strategy game. I really love games like this. If you've heard of RimWorld, it's basically like a dwarf fortress plus a... Why are you outside? What were you doing? This is a... staff only. You gotta make sure that the outside world is staff only. Also, dog handler, I want you to smell this guy. This guy's got something fishy. Search him, search him. He's got something fishy on him, I know. Ah ha ha! Ah! Okay, so what can happen with your prisoners is they can go outside, and if they're far enough towards the fence, in secret, they can coordinate a family member to run by and throw liquor or a hammer over the fence when no one's looking. You gotta be on top of that. So that's why I normally keep my outer boundary a staff-only zone and keep it locked tight. But whenever you do construction, it sort of resets the zones. So that whole keeping it locked tight thing kind of fell apart. Then again, we had a murder in here, so I kind of lost my focus. Murder usually does that. Anyway, we're going to expand our forestry because we can grow our own wood that we can make into beds that sell for a lot. Basically, we can take $100 and make them into $1,000. Oh, and I got a message. Ah! Awesome! Something I suggested earlier today came to fruition, and it did something awesome. And now I am very happy. Anyway, we're going to give these toilets some water, because they kind of need that. In case you didn't know, most toilets require water. And power-wise, this area should get built out. Our next intake is 8, which shouldn't put us to capacity. We should be fine. Once we get to 100, we'll get $20,000 for raising our prisoner capacity. And that should be good. Overall, doesn't look like any chaos is happening in here. The only problem that was last time was just because of that guy who kind of stabbed somebody because he was a cop once. And sometimes you can't stop that. You gotta stay on top of your prisoners as they come in. You never know when you'll get somebody like this guy, Jep Killer, who, being raised in both Brazil and America, has given an immense familiarity and understanding of both cultures, hence is able to interact with and infiltrate gangs with excellent natural ability. I can't speak. He's highly intelligent, self-aware, and a balanced individual. Self-aware? I think most humans come into the world with self-aware. I'm sorry to tell you that one. Some of the bios on these guys are kind of amazing. You've got this is all because of the Kickstarter, where people paid like $30. They could oh, that's a bit of congestion. There you go. They could get like a custom bio in. If you paid like 20 or 15, you could get a you could get yourself just your name in the game, which is pretty cool. And if you paid 50, I think they would actually put like you give them a picture, and they'd actually put it into the game. Max Karate Pajamas Van de Well. While watching a TV at home, he was enraged when his wife brought him a sandwich with 1 too little slices of ham. Infuriated at the lack of food in his own house, he broke into the neighbor's home and ate all the cookies. Sentenced 6 years for kidnapping! You sure those were cookies you took out of the neighbor's house? Dude, it's a bit much. Oh, dogs found something. So, the dogs serve dual purpose. They can not only sniff possessions on people, things that naturally have scents, like alcohol or drugs, but if you have them on patrol on your outer perimeter, they can sometimes actually find tunnels dug underneath them, and they'll scratch at the surface. There'll be a little yellow flag. Oh, you're Imposter Meta Knight. Why did I not realize that? Because you're IMK. I'm sorry. I didn't even read chat. That was my bad. And then you can try and figure out where the tunnel's coming from. But sometimes they'll just dig at the ground because they're dogs. So you'll get some false positives too. So you have to take all of your dogs and run them over the spot. But the thing is, if you take all your dogs and do that, then they're not doing their job of patrolling around or sniffing the prisoners during these high traffic zones when they're all in the shower. Yes, it's kind of efficient to have a dog run into the shower while your prisoners are all showering and have them all sniff. It's kind of weird. Whoa, what's going on? There's a fight. It's a CI and an extremely volatile man. And he's out. Well, that was quick. These statuses, like extremely volatile, actually do have characteristics that change them. So this extremely volatile prisoner is able to kick off without warning and with no reason. So he'll just get mad and start beating up people because it was a cloud in the sky that offended him. And that was pretty much it. We still don't have our power conduits installed. Whoa, another issue happening. Were you punching a laundry basket? Dude. Harry Cracker Bad Shambles snapped one Christmas day after receiving a combined birthday Xmas present, all of which were socks. 10 years for a breach of the peace, resisting arrest, and GBH of turkey carcass? 4 years for violent disorder. Oh, God. Some of these are amazingly impressive, though. They're some very creative people. Amarita Amy Von Kuhn. Imprisoned for 15 counts of... Okay, well... This guy wrote a lot for his... I'm just gonna ignore a lot of it, then. Laura Croft Alicey. A female in disguise, secretly trying to overthrow the Illuminati. Laura was a teacher at a school in England when she was arrested for multiple accusations of plotting to murder. She was discovered it was the Illuminati who wanted to kill her. Okay. Well, get that Mountain Dew sponsorship and you'll be fine there, Laura. Oh my goodness. Alright, our cells are coming along great, and we just completed a grant, giving us a nice, juicy bunch of money, and we can go and get another grant. The inmate nutrition research. Now, this is a tough one, because you have to do single, low-quality meals for 2 days. That means everyone gets one meal, that's it, and it stinks. And then you give them 3 really good meals for 2 days. And it's not worth it if you've got a lot of volatile people in your prison, because there's a high likelihood of somebody getting stabbed with a spoon. Cell block D is 250? No, it's just 200. And then the education reform program, which is impossible because it hasn't been balanced properly. What happens with this is the amount of prisoners that want to do foundation education is very low. The amount of prisoners that successfully go from that and actually complete it is very low. And then on top of that, the chance of them going on to do general education past that is very low. And then they have to pass that, which is, once again, very low. So you're like 20% times 20% times 20% times 20% to actually get 1 out of 100 prisoners to go through it. Don't do it. It's just a waste of a grant unless you've got like 1,000 people in your prison. And I am not at the point of that. It's actually a good strategy to, once you've got a stable prison and you're getting a lot of money from it, to just sell it and start anew, taking that experience you have, grabbing a nice big chunk of change, and going in and making a new prison. So needs-wise, it was a day. What did I do? I accidentally did a clone thing. Where did I put that? Did I put that outside? No, it didn't give me any money. Anyway. We're going to go into our needs. Everyone's got their sleep need, exercise and family. Okay, so exercise and family, I can settle that in the yard. I can get myself some phone booths. And we'll have to hook them up to get wired in, and some weight benches. That should settle those needs. Alright, so utilities. We're going to connect the new phone booths when they get down here. Oh, what is weird with your connections? You're connected to like 3 things. What's going on there? That was weird. Okay. Anyway, we can get these new phone booths wired up here, so we can actually listen in on the conversations that happen and sort of exploit them, you know? If, hey, somebody is planning on doing something crazy, we can kind of get word of that and prevent it before it happens, or, you know, something like that. Which is very nice. The problem is, when you've got one guard on these, they can only listen to one conversation at a time, so you kind of have to modularly build it up. If your phones completely get used at all times, and you only have 2 people listening in, then it's going to be very difficult for you to actually do much with it, because they'll only be, they'll be listening, but to only 2 of those many people, and that can cause a lot of issues. Alright, so electrical cable, that goes up here, connects up here, comes over here, and doesn't go here. Oh, I see why. They can't build inside this because they can't access it from its 4 cardinal sides, so we have to go around like that. That stinks. But okay. Anyway, that should give power to this section, and we can get our deployment, get our guard patrols to, start going on up here. Yeah, something like that. Get up here, and we'll get a guard that comes over here and looks in the shower every now and then, as well as these cells. They should be monitored. We'll just get 2 guards on this patrol route, just to be safe. That should be good, though. And, yeah, it should be fine. You guys, there we go, get those wires installed. Come on. Hey! And now we have power over here. Excellent. So we have 100 cells. Ah, we have a prisoner due for release soon. Benjamin Mitchell? Ah, oh, good on him. He's getting out of the system. The more prisoners you get released, the better. The thing is, if your prisoner's grade is too low, you have to wait for, like, 10 people to get out, they'll give you a grade on whether or not they come back in or not, and it's all based on what their experience was in the prison. So prisoners can come back into the prison, and that'll actually like make it so you don't get as much money from the government. But if you release prisoners and they all go on to live happy, healthy lives, then the government loves you and gives you tons of money to keep doing what you're doing. This is a good point for me to end the YouTube episode, so we'll see you guys on the next Prison Architect.